This is the first episode of Out of the Blank. Podcast really is just a conversation between me and interesting people I've met. Whether it's friends just kind of joking around or just people I've met through everyday life. I started realizing that everyone's got a story, and some of them can help people. Some of them are really interesting to listen to get somebody's, you never know what someone's been through. And I just thought, I watched a lot of Joe Rogan. He's a giant inspiration of mine. His podcast with his friends, where he's going from 30 minutes to 3 hours long. So, this conversation could go on and just ramble or, get down to some stuff. But hopefully you guys listen to it and might enjoy it. I'm here with one of my best friends, Skyler George.
Hello.
It's pretty early in the morning. We just thought we'd try out the podcast. Skyler is my age. We're about 20 years old. He works HVAC, and do you enjoy that?
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
I know we both took vocational school together to see if that was going to be our thing to do. Do you plan on doing that for the rest of your life, or is there anything else you actually want to?
At this point, it's pretty much what I'm going to do. I've been doing it for about 5 years now. And I don't really see me doing anything else other than that.
Going into somebody's house when they're not there?
Yeah, that's always a fun part of it. You always have to explore their house and look everywhere and see what they got hidden.
My favorite, okay, so I'm not saying thieving or anything, stealing or anything, but I'm saying,
oh no, of course
you look
not.
through people's shit.
I don't open drawers and stuff, but all the stuff they got hanging on their shelves or whatever.
What's the weirdest thing that you've come across?
Of it. I don't know. That's putting me on the spot.
I was about to say, man. I already know,
I have to
dude,
think on that one.
from all your Snapchats that you send out. You be taking some loads in some people's toilets. So you be dropping some bombs.
Oh yeah, well, that's always a fun thing. You just have no choice sometimes. But
the best feeling is probably taking a dump in somebody's house when they're not there.
yeah, it's a pretty good feeling.
But it's got to suck if they walk in through the door and then you're just coming out of the bathroom and you got it smelling either
that's always a fear that you have, that they'll come home at the wrong time. Only once I've almost been caught.
You got it stinking up like an Indian restaurant, and then you're spraying it with freaking Lysol or something to try and mask it, so it's Febrezed up. I think I don't know, I work at a hotel, so it's when you're going into a room and everything.
So you're doing the same thing? You're going in people's where they're staying.
Yeah,
you can see all the weird stuff they got going on.
It's definitely strangest thing I've probably come across is just willingness to leave a dump in the toilet for the housekeeper. I'm paying for this hotel, this room, you're gonna clean up my shit.
That's just the mentality people have. I have experience of when people come on vacation, they bring all their dirty laundry in their car, from wherever they are. They could live 3-4 miles away, or 3-4 hours away rather, and they bring all their dirty laundry for a month's worth and just wash it for free at their place they're staying at. They're only saving a couple dollars, but that's just something that people do.
Better than spending $30 in quarters trying to wash a bunch of stuff at a laundromat.
If you got money to vacation down here, I don't think you're hurting for laundry money.
No, true that. We live in Ocean City, Maryland. It's a beach kind of town. Basically dead during winter. It's about 30 degrees outside right now, and I can guarantee to you that all the old people are crying in their house right now with the heat up. Mm-hmm. That's the main thing at the hotel. I get it now, where you say when you walk into someone's house, you do have that little curiosity to see what's this person into. But it's when you work at a hotel and you're going into a room, it's during the summertime is probably the worst time, because you get those kids that are 26, 27, out of college, either on spring break or doing something like that, and they're freaking, beer everywhere, but they're they don't care. They leave condoms on the floor, and you're kind of dealing with that. But it's I told them I won't walk in there if there's a bunch of condoms on the floor. I've had
walk in there and pick them up.
Nah, you don't pick them up. What are you going to do? Save it? Put it in the freezer? No, but I mean, you got to think like just people's minds work in so many like mysterious and different ways. I'm just going like from I don't even know, just the random thoughts and the random actions people do. I mean, you've come across in a grocery store a magnitude of people. I mean, you come across in life just a magnitude of people. I mean, you're talking from people from the nicest can be to just the worst. I mean, not caring, you know, kicking doors open and doing that. I mean, grocery store or something like that. I'm usually like, you know, see an old person struggling with some groceries, you know, I'll be like, hey, do you need a hand or something? And they're like, I don't expect a kid your age, like, you get two reactions basically. You expect them to be surprised at some kid that's in their 20s willing to help out, or you get the kind of, usually it's with the older guys where they're kind of like, get out of my face, you punk. You know, they just think you're just a punk. It's like, oh, well, sorry, sir. Like, don't have a stroke on me or anything. You know, you come across just strange people in life, and that's the main reason why I wanted to even start this podcast. I mean, you got to think, dude. I mean, yeah, we're in our 20s and we don't have much of a story, but at the same time, it's like we've all experienced something. I mean, I know I've met so many people in my life already, and I'm still meeting people, and I just enjoy hearing the stuff they tell me where I'm like, yo, somebody should be recording this. I mean, you got to think, how many kids our age are either into drugs or into alcohol right now?
Pretty much all of them.
Exactly, and you know what the reason is for that? We live in a beach town. Summertime is kicking where, you know, there's something to do. You can go into the ocean, or you can walk 5 minutes across the street to the bay, you know, go crabbing, go do something like that. There's always something to do in summer. This place is packed. Tourists, everything. And in wintertime, it's dead. There's nobody on the roads. All you do is basically just eat, sleep, and try and find something to do. Netflix. I get it where it all comes to that, and I think everyone needs an outlet. So, I mean, I plan on doing hopefully more episodes if this one actually gets some views. They're going to get better as they progress, obviously have more of an outline. This is just really a setting basis for the first episode of the podcast series. I just wanted to get one out there just so people can hear it first and then listen to and hopefully see if this is what's going to interest them. I'm going to have another guest, try and interview guests every single time and not just do stupid stuff where I'm just sitting there reading facts off a board. Skyler's sitting over here. He's gonna look up some articles for us on USA Today.
Yeah.
Did you see that thing? 3 new states now legalized marijuana: Michigan, Utah, and then I forgot what the third one was. I think it was like something.
It's good for them. Personally, I don't partake, but I feel that, you know, whatever. It's not really a big deal.
What I just thought was crazy was that they have in Seattle now. It's a vending machine that dispenses marijuana. So it's like a soda machine. You put in a nickel and you're getting a bag dime. You know what I mean? Like that type of stuff. And like the first thing I was like thinking, how many people are going to break into that? I mean, really? Like that's the dumbest idea in the world. After the first 2 weeks, there was over like 40-something break-ins to people just stealing this stuff. And now they have an employee on watch 24/7. But how easy is it going to be to slip that guy $10 and then break into the machine and get a whole bunch of like kush or something like that? You know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
you think what we're really spending our just money on and shit. Everyone's complaining that, what do our tax dollars do? Basically, honestly, nothing. I mean, it's just, I think of a way as like, it's just the government really controlling you. The world kind of works a little bit. I mean, not to get it all into political stuff, because I mean my views are only the views of somebody else's, really. You know, Gavin McInnes, giant influence there. Mostly just because of the way he talks to people. I like that.
It's always fun to make him watch other people get mad. That's the same reason like people like Ben Shapiro, like they may talk about some crazy stuff, but people are always getting angry on the other end. It's always fun to see their reactions.
I just think politics is a lot like religion. It's like the two things you can't really bring up at like a Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, yeah, you're not supposed to do that.
You're not supposed to bring it up at all, really.
Unless your family is like all in agreement, then you just don't talk about it.
Yeah, and everyone just kind of sits there and nods.
And then you get like that drunk uncle, and it just keeps going on and on.
Or the old grandfather that's like, back in my day.
Back in the good old days.
If you didn't believe in Christianity.
Oh, yeah, they did.
We hung you. I'm like, okay, well, all right, sir.
I mean, they hung Jesus.
Where's your Bible?
They're all for it.
Where's your Bible, boy? Thinking that. I mean, Thanksgiving's coming up, too. I can't believe it's already November, man. I feel like it just was
crazy.
Summertime not even too long ago. And it's already November. Black Friday's coming up. I mean, do you plan on going Black Friday shopping? I honestly don't at all.
I never go shopping. All the shopping I do is on Amazon.
I remember...
You just can't beat Prime 2-day shipping. It's the best.
Yeah, they're not a sponsor, by the way, of this podcast, so there's no need to give them that much respect.
They could be.
They could be.
I'm open to free Prime.
Amazon, hit us up. Free sponsorship. I want a giant logo to put on my face.
I'll get an Amazon tattoo.
Tattoo on the neck.
Face. Cheek.
I mean, better than freaking Gucci Mane's got a ice cream cone on the side of his head.
That's fine.
I think I went to Black Friday once in an actual store. I was in there 4 hours. I watched kids that like had literally physically crapped themselves because they were waiting in line. The mom's like, nah, I'm getting this flat screen, so I mean, you're just gonna have to hold it. My grandma woke me up at like 4 in the morning, like, come on, let's go Black Friday shopping. I'm like, I'm 13 years old. I don't got money, so it's like I'm just kind of...
It's never worth it.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm kind of just rolling with you at this point. I mean, what? You save maybe 50, 60 bucks. I mean, some of the deals I understand, but it's like, it's in a month from now, that's going to be dropped to the same price. I mean, if you honestly can't wait, if you're really... I mean, people are trampling over other people to the point where instead of Black Friday coming out on Friday, like early ass in the morning like it used to, it comes out like 2 days before, because now the grocery stores and all those places that are doing the deals are like, hey, let's...
I mean, it's fine. They should have started doing that a while ago. Like, why are they making people work on like a holiday and just have it like be a week-long thing? Like, it doesn't make sense to have it on a single day anymore. Especially when all the best deals are online these days.
Yeah. You should look up some Black Friday statistics, see if we can find anything on...
What, how many tramples per year?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm guessing maybe a couple thousand, easy. All over the world, or all over the state. Not state, country. There's definitely got to be a couple thousand.
How many did you think?
I'm going to guess 6,000.
Last year, only 3 people died.
3 people died.
7 people were injured.
7 people.
So
I was way off.
It's definitely not in the thousands.
I always thought, like, you always see those videos or whatever on Facebook, like World Star. Some dude's got a plasma screen and another dude's grabbing it from them, and people are getting trampled.
I mean, they're
left
probably
and right.
getting knocked out and stuff, but they're not dying. Somebody killed themselves in the store, which is unusual, but
You're one of those deals, man. What's that Black Friday death count?
Oh, it's just apparently, like, in total, it's 10.
Out of all the years Black Friday's been going on?
No, just since, like, 2008 or so.
10
It's more
deaths.
injured. People get injured more than,
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody's intentionally trying to kill somebody. I mean, unless you really want that new Madden or something.
Although, scroll through the list, it says, shopper opens fire is a common theme.
Oh, see, that's what goes back.
They stole the last TV, I guess.
That's when it goes back to the way someone's mind works, man. Like, God, people are nuts. I mean, you're going to go that crazy over just saving $30?
I mean, a deal's a deal.
A deal's a deal, a hole's a hole, huh? I mean, there is good stuff out there, though. You see all this stuff. I mean, when you turn on the TV, if you're not watching Netflix, I mean, what's going on there? You got all these political news articles, stuff with Trump going on. I mean, what's the recent on Trump right now?
I have no idea. I don't follow any type of news. It's all the same stuff. They always complain about Trump. I guess the biggest news right now is the fact that Paradise City in California pretty much burned down.
I know. I was seeing all those Instagram posts of all the comedians and everything that can't make it to their shows because of how bad the fires are. Now, is that just because it's so dry, or?
I mean, it's so dry and it rarely ever rains. I mean, the other day I saw a video of a guy escaping, and it's just on both sides of the road. It's just flames. You can't see anything. It's just insane.
That's nuts.
And you can see like all the wreckage. I mean, I think last I heard it was like 26,000 structures burned down. You can see this one picture we're looking at. It's just the staircase of the house is still up.
And the rest of the house is in pieces.
It's just cars abandoned on the street.
That looks like some like.
I mean, this looks like The Walking Dead.
Yeah, that really looks like The Walking Dead.
Like just abandoned cars, and there's just nothing.
Things are they're dropping water from helicopters.
This guy's trying to save his GT500.
I mean, yeah.
Which I get that.
Go back into the. I mean, I would go back into a house fire for a good pot roast, man.
I even sent you a picture about that Tundra that drove through the flames. It looked like a roasted marshmallow.
Yeah, sides all burnt.
Insane.
What was the point of that, though? Was he just
of what?
He was stuck in the fire.
He was saving people.
He was saving people.
He was going back and getting people out of. Apparently, this guy works at like a hospital or something, and so he had to get like all the patients like out of there. So he was going like trip after trip, getting them out of the hospital and taking them to safety.
That's a man.
So that truck
right
went through some stuff. Hopefully,
he got some hair on his chest.
I know his tires, they're BFG KO2s. They reached out and offered to send him some new tires. Hopefully, Toyota sends him a new truck. That's some good publicity for them.
Oh, for sure, dude.
Everything else on here is just kind of not important compared to what's going on over there. I mean, you got people talking about the elections like that even really matters.
I mean, did you vote, honestly?
I am not even registered to vote. That's how much I really don't care.
Is that legal to say?
Say what?
I thought when you're 18 years old, you have to be registered. It's like going into the military.
That's
right?
when you can register. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's not like you don't lose anything from not registering.
What do you get out of it? You get a
vote.
Sticker?
You get to vote.
I voted.
Yep.
I voted for somebody, and it didn't do anything because it was one vote. And then you got those people like, that one vote could have. That's how Hillary could have won. Nobody wanted, I don't think, Hillary to win.
I don't think anybody in the history of anywhere has lost by. Oh, I can't say that, but maybe in America nobody's lost by one vote. So when that day comes, you can whip me mercilessly. But
turning some people on by saying that, Skyler.
I mean, of course, the big topic is politics right now. We just had the midterm elections, and it looks like I think Republicans lost the House, which only, I mean, depending on your views, is good or bad. Of course, that just means things are going to be harder to pass.
Go back to what that just said. That said 307 mass shootings in 311 days in the U.S. Well, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, there was that one in a California bar.
See, that's why I don't.
Where's that at?
This is why I don't turn. At McDonald's, there were 21 mass shootings in 1980.
There's Borderline Bar and Grill, 12 dead. And that was
why are people shooting up a bar and grill?
Yeah, the most recent one.
Santa Fe High School and Parkland High School. That's also a thing, man. We've had some crazy people. I remember when we were in high school, there was that kid that threatened to shoot up the school.
Oh yeah, and it was like on the day before Christmas break. I remember I went to school that day and there was like nobody there.
Yeah, I know, because I was in Hawaii and I came back and it was like my first day back right before break. So I was like, I'm gonna have another break, and it was only like 10 people in the whole school, man. I was like, that's nuts. Everyone's like, oh yeah, you didn't hear? There's a kid threatening to shoot up the school. I'm like, oh no, I didn't know that. Hey Mom, you want to come pick me up?
Another cry out for gun control.
Yeah.
And personally, in my opinion, I think you should be able to have your guns.
See another
guns
video.
Guns don't kill people. It's
the people,
crazy people.
Yeah. I mean, I see those videos with freaking Ted Nugent all over Facebook yelling about gun control. I'm like, I don't believe that someone should have their guns taken away from them. I don't think, like you just said, it's not it's not the gun, it's the person. I definitely think there should be a mental check on people, maybe every couple of years.
And maybe make it longer to get one. I mean, I don't know how. I mean, from state to state it varies, of course, but
yeah, I mean, you go to Texas, you want a shotgun? Here you go, sonny. You turn 9 years old.
Pretty much, they give you one in your Happy Meal.
Yeah.
But even then, it's like,
would you like a shotgun shell with that side order of Coca-Cola?
I forgot. Oh, I mean, even if you take guns away from the citizens, criminals are still going to have their guns. Like, they're not.
They're going to get it.
They're not just going to turn them over just because it's illegal now. They're already doing illegal stuff.
Really planning on shooting up someplace, they're going to
have their guns.
Yeah, they're going to get it. It's not.
It's only better if the
banning them from
public
civilians
can defend themselves.
Yeah. I mean, I've been on Netflix watching that Criminal Minds stuff, and you can go down some rabbit holes in that. And then that History Channel, Untold Truths of the American History. I mean, there's like the first 2 episodes all about like World War II and freaking all this stuff, like dealing with Germany and stuff. I'm like, yo, like there's some interesting stuff you didn't know. I mean, same thing with Christopher Columbus. I mean, we're taught in school that he was a, in 1982, Christopher Columbus.
What?
1782, is that what it is? 1982 is too recent.
Yeah, America wasn't discovered in 1982.
America was discovered 3 people ago.
What?
3 people ago. If you think, if a person lived to be 100 years old, 3 people ago, America was discovered.
Not discovered, founded.
Founded. But I mean, like, that's not that long ago.
I mean, kind of.
You think about Jesus Christ and all that. When was that? That was like, what, a couple thousand years ago?
Well, if we go by the calendar, it was exactly 2018 years ago.
Okay, well, guess what? I don't know. That's just the America thing. It just doesn't seem that old to me. Now, I mean,
it's not old compared to other countries like ancient Rome and
Greece.
Most of Europe has been around forever.
I think the oldest one's probably
America is a young nation.
Oldest country is probably Africa, isn't it?
I don't know. But yeah, America's pretty. As far as a nation goes,
what you learn about Christopher Columbus, dude? I mean, freaking. He discovered America, what? On accident, right? He was trying to go somewhere else, or China or something, and he ended up...
He thought he found the Indies, a faster way to the Indies, but, yeah, Christopher Columbus, they don't tell you in school about how bad of a guy he was, but...
I mean, yeah, dude, but you gotta think history's made by the winner, you know what I mean? So... Like, when in textbooks and everything, you're going to hear about everything good about the winner. So we were the winner,
obviously. Exactly. If people died out, you're not hearing their stories.
I mean, they were... The stuff you learned about Christopher Columbus, about grabbing the Indians, like, children and banging them on rocks, little babies and stuff like that. I mean, he lost so many men on his voyage, and then they were going to leave him there because he thought he found gold when really the gold was traded to the people that were there. And he thought they had gold. So he was torturing them, trying to get gold out of them, and he realized it's not there. And he sent basically a letter back to the home state saying, hey, there's gold here. Start, get me resources to come back. And then really it was just a giant ploy for him to get back home. Because he knew they were just going to leave him there. They weren't going to waste any more resources to get him back. That's just, in my mind, I mean, it's smart, yeah, if you're thinking about yourself. But, I mean, just in the long run... causing all that pain and stuff, and then next thing you know, America's here, and we're eating hot dogs and watching football games, and
I don't know what all that means, but
bringing up that obesity rate.
Good thing you know about Christopher Columbus.
I'm into stupid stuff sometimes. I just start going down rabbit holes. Like, did you know Abraham Lincoln won 200 boxing championships before he was president?
That's pretty sweet.
That's crazy. And I'm
glad he was our president.
We had one president that got his eye disconnected boxing while he was president. And you know who that was? Theodore Roosevelt.
Oh yeah, well, you know about Lyndon B. Johnson?
I don't know about Lyndon.
About how he would try and show anybody and everybody his Johnson?
I feel like that's a lie.
It's not. All his assistants would be
you're telling me he's
Lyndon B.
walking
Johnson
around...
would be like, hey Jimmy, come over here and come here, I need your help. And he'd walk in the room and his pants are just down with his...
Boom.
with his Lyndon B. Johnson hanging out.
What you think about that?
And
Johnson and Johnson.
Apparently, he would regularly answer the phone and just be
naked,
have his dingling hanging out. It was pretty funny. If that happened today, of course, there'd be outrage, but back then people weren't so sensitive.
I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that back in the day, if you see now, like, you can't play,
back in my day,
Johnny Bravo on TV anymore.
Oh, yeah, that would be banned right away.
That old cartoon, there'd be some people getting sensitive about that, just Johnny Bravo. We got people who don't know who Johnny Bravo is. Johnny Bravo is, like, very masculine, buff dude. Going after ladies and everything, always constantly hitting on them. They always slap him, and then, because he's kind of rude the way he does it. He's basically the alpha male. And if that played on TV now, I mean, back in the day, that wasn't even a thought. It wouldn't be a problem.
There's a lot of cartoons that wouldn't be able to.
Don't forget Courage the Cowardly Dog,
be on the news today. I mean, Courage would be fine, but
they're bringing it back, but they're cartooning it. But that episode, like, there's so many episodes of Courage the Cowardly Dog that, like, taught you lessons, but at the same time, you're like, whoa, like, that one, Return the Slab.
Oh, yeah, that still gives me nightmares.
Return the Slab. It's like, I had nightmares about that. And that show, Mr. Meaty, with the puppets, where the dude got a tapeworm. Yo, when he had that tapeworm
come out of him. What about the one where his hand went in the fryer?
Oh, and he starts eating his hand? I'm like, I was 7 years old and watching this. And, next thing you know, like, you can't play that stuff today. Kids will get too sensitive. What's that? I'm trying to think of that one show. I mean, Johnny Bravo was just too good, though, and they wouldn't be able to play that just because of how sensitive people get. I mean, you got to realize you can't be so sensitive, too, as a society. I mean, everyone's just looking to complain about something.
No, that's a tall order. It's like in today's day and age, people are taught to be offended about everything.
You watch SpongeBob now, dude. I realize why my dad would sit next to me and watch cartoons with me in the morning. Because he gets some of those jokes that I thought I didn't even recognize as a kid. Like with Jimmy Neutron, you're looking at when the dad was like, one day, son, I sat on a banana, and that changed my life. Now, being older, I understand that
as
joke.
As a kid, I didn't know
but
what
as a kid, I was like, he sat on a banana. That's funny. He probably squished the banana. And then now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, oh, well, he's a little bit fruity, I think. And Ed, and Eddie was the show, man. That was it. That was it for me.
That was the best show
of
our childhood.
That was a good show, man.
I always think about the episode where Ed's like, I can't go anywhere, guys. My parents grounded me. So they're trying to break him out. And so they get in like his room in the basement, and they're trying to get out. And his parents took the stairs away. And Double D's like, that's disturbing. You see like the outline of the stairs.
Ed's like, I told you
like,
I'm grounded. And they're like, they took the stairs away, though.
That was just funny. That show was like ahead of its time.
All right, well, I think this podcast for our first one is going on about 30-something minutes. It's pretty good. I know we basically just talked about some dumb stuff, but, I mean, hopefully thought this was entertaining for some of you out there. And
it's pretty good for a trial run.
Yeah, definitely a trial. Talking about politics, Black Friday, people getting trampled. Stay tuned, I guess, for the next episode, guys. Hopefully, we'll have a little bit more of an outline to talk about, not just rambling about TV shows and stuff like that.
I mean, that's fine, too.
Thanks for listening to the intro to Out of the Blank podcast, and we'll keep you posted on the next one.